Alright, for our third and final example, we're going to solve the equation 10 minus 4b squared equals 229. As always, our first step is to just make a copy of this to work on. And what we see here is it's the same situation as before. We've got our variable, it's got a coefficient, and then we've got this term that's added or subtracted. When you see this term out front, think about what sign's in front of it. Do I have a negative sign here, or is it just left blank? Here it's left blank, which means we can think of this as being a positive 10 or plus 10 out there. And so in order to isolate our variable, we need to get rid of this first. So when I have added 10, the way to get rid of that is to subtract 10. But what I do to one side, I must do to the other. That leaves me with negative 14b squared. Notice that this minus sign follows me down here. Equals, and then 229 minus 10 would be 219. Now I want to get this b squared by itself. And so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 14. These will cancel each other out, leaving me with b squared equals, and this is why on the 6th day God invented the calculator, 219 divided by negative 14, that's 14 rather, and I'm just going to round this off to the hundredths place, negative 15.64. So that's negative 15.64, and now I'm in a position where I can find b, and in order to do that I have to take the square root to undo the fact that we're squaring this, and I take the square root of the other side, and I find that b is going to equal the square root of negative 15.64. And it's at this point right here I can stop what I'm doing and go ahead and say that there are no real solutions. Now the reason I can say that is that we're taking the square root of a negative number right here. And when you take the square root of a negative number, you're going to get into a type of number system called the imaginary numbers, which we're not going to deal with. And imaginary, in this case, you can think of as being separate and different from real. So in this case, we say that there are no real solutions. And friends and neighbors, we are done right there.